Well, it finally happened. After months of ongoing drama and non-stop trade chatter, the Pittsburgh Steelers finally moved on from Antonio Brown, only the NFL's best wide receiver since 2014. Brown was sent to the Oakland Raiders in exchange for 2019 third and fifth round draft choices. Couple that with Le'Veon Bell's departure, and the Killer Bees era in Pittsburgh is done with. But will Brown see similar production on a rebuilding Oakland team? Or does he stand to be the next great trade flop on the long-struggling Raiders? I'm Jason Biondo, and today we present 5 reasons why Antonio Brown will succeed in Oakland and 5 reasons why he'll flop. Don't forget to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications. We post videos every single day. Every day's a new video, so subscribe. Do it. You have to do it. Click that button. Smash that button. Smash the subscribe button. Smash it. Do it, please. Excuse me. And a big shout out to OP Box for suggesting this video. Thank you, OP. You're the man. Or woman. We don't know what you are, but you're dope, so thanks. Number 5. Succeed because he has something to prove. It sounds like a cliche, but trust us. Guys like Antonio Brown can get extra hungry and motivated when there's a chip on their shoulders. Some people thought Terrell Owens was nuts for orchestrating a move out of Philadelphia despite a brief yet tremendous run with the Eagles. He joined the rival Dallas Cowboys and performed just fine there. Same with Randy Moss, who showed he wasn't far from finished after leaving the Oakland Raiders for the New England Patriots. Well, Brown is out there to show that he doesn't need Ben Roethlisberger, nor Mike Tomlin, or simply anybody associated with the Steelers. Even though he's joining a rebuilding Oakland team, you know Brown has a burning desire to show the world that he's still an elite wide receiver. Oh, and Brown was a 6th round pick in 2010. He has spent his entire career with something to prove. If Brown can prove everybody wrong once, he can certainly do it again. Number 5. Flop. Because of his age. AB showed absolutely no signs of slowing down in his age 30 season. Keep in mind that he missed 1 game, but still managed a remarkable 104 receptions for 1,297 yards and a career best 15 touchdown catches. That said, nobody needs to be reminded that wide receivers tend to slow down once they reach the wrong side of 30. Will a 31-year-old Brown still be able to burn defenses? He relies plenty on his quickness, burst of speed, and route running. Once he loses a step or two, Brown will be much less lethal. It doesn't help that Brown suffered a minor calf tear during the 2017 season, so the concern about his health will be there as well. Calvin Johnson, the game's best wideout for a number of years, retired after his age 30 season. He was still a Pro Bowler, but not quite as effective as previous years. Michael Crabtree has seen his production slip quite a bit as well. There's lots of reasons to worry about Brown struggling in Oakland due to his age. He's played 9 years in the NFL now, and AB simply isn't getting any younger. The Raiders better hope he can hold off Father Time for at least 2 more years here, but that's much easier said than done. Number 4. Succeed because AFC West secondaries. Brown put up some jaw-dropping numbers, even though the Steelers had to play against some tough secondaries inside the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens have always fielded a championship caliber unit, but they were never a match for Brown. The Cincinnati Bengals are a mess now, but they also had a formidable secondary in those few playoff seasons they had. Brown also had to go up against Joe Hayden and Denzel Ward of the Cleveland Browns as well. Well, things get a lot easier for Brown in the AFC West now. The Denver Broncos have Chris Harris Jr., but the Pro Bowler is a slot corner. Not to mention, Brown lit up Harris in their 2015 regular season meeting, catching 16 passes for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Kansas City Chiefs? Nah. Worst secondary in the NFL. Did you not see them blow Patrick Mahomes' chances of leading them to a Super Bowl title? Even if Brown were to slow down in 2019, he would absolutely light these guys up. As for the Los Angeles Chargers, well, Brown has some field days against them as well. Casey Hayward is an underrated cornerback, but we have our doubts he could beat Brown one-on-one. Simply put, Brown is facing easier matchups against the AFC West secondaries compared to the AFC North. He should do just fine production-wise. Number 4. Flop. Because AB brings the drama. If a player's head isn't fully in the game and with the team, well, it's going to be hard for him to succeed anywhere. We've seen many talented athletes in professional sports flop with the new team because they put on a me-first show. Well, if Brown was able to put himself first in a well-respected Steelers organization, can we trust that he'll do the same on an Oakland team that has been quite dysfunctional for over a decade now? Albert Haynesworth was a huge mess with the Washington Redskins because he only cared about himself. Not the team, not the coaches. That's why he's the worst free agent signing in NFL history. Brown Brown will surely bring a bit of drama to Oakland. I mean, like, it's AB we're talking about. The only question is how much. If it's the usual amount, then the Raiders are going to regret this trade. Hopefully they don't. Number 3, succeed, because Gruden will keep AB in line. Maybe there's no reason to worry about Antonio Brown drama at all in Raider Nation. Head coach John Gruden has a knack for building excellent relationships with his guys. He's the ultimate players coach. Throughout an embarrassing 2018 season, Gruden defended his players, put the blame on himself, and stayed humble throughout. The players thrive off of his emotions and excitement. He's the coach every single football player in the country dreams of playing for, personality-wise at least. Mike Tomlin is a great coach, but he's known for being too soft and easygoing on his players. In Gruden's case, he'll hold Brown accountable, keep him in line, and ensure the Pro Bowl wideout is all in. He will not let AB disrupt the team culture and locker room. If Brown starts misbehaving, you know Gruden will put a stop to it. But this is John Gruden we're talking about. Why wouldn't Brown be the happy-go-lucky guy under his $100 million head coach? Number 3, flop, because Raiders lack other offensive threats. One reason Brown was able to succeed in Pittsburgh all those years. The Steelers had other offensive playmakers that defenses had to account for. This includes guys like Emmanuel Sanders, Heath Miller, Juju Smith-Schuster, and of course Le'Veon Bell. If teams doubled or triple covered Brown, the other playmakers would get open. Defenses were also focused on blitzing Ben Roethlisberger and stopping Le'Veon Bell. You couldn't focus solely on Brown, or else other guys would burn you. Well, AB joins a Raiders team with no legitimate threats on offense. The ground game is virtually non-existent. Defenses will be able to focus entirely on Brown when they line up against this Oakland offense. Teams simply won't let the Raiders' best player win games on his own. The Raiders better hit their picks in the 2019 draft here, because if other playmakers aren't added to complement Brown, there's a high chance he flops. This is simply not the same supporting cast he had in Pittsburgh. Number 2, succeed, because talent wins out. Sometimes it doesn't matter where the guy is playing. If he has supreme talent, he's going to shine. Just take a look at the long list of NFL greats who were superstars wherever they went during their prime years. Randy Moss, Deion Sanders, Jerome Bettis, Brandon Marshall, Jerry Rice. The list just goes on. And those guys played for some bad teams. Guys like Moss and Marshall had some pretty bad quarterbacks, but they produced. In Brown's case, he's the game's most talented all-around wide receiver. And hey, Derek Carr isn't exactly horrible. It's not like Brock Osweiler or Nathan Peterman are throwing the football here. Carr can make the big plays, and even if he's not great, the Pro Bowler will do just enough to get Brown the ball. So yeah, relax here, Raiders fans. Brown has a remarkable skill set that allows him to succeed just about anywhere. Number 2, flop, because from Roethlisberger to Carr. Love him or hate him, it's nearly impossible to deny that Ben Roethlisberger is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, at least when he's on his game. And most of the time, Roethlisberger is on his game. This man has formed terrific chemistry with so many wideouts throughout his career. Brown is not the only one. Take a look at Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, Martavis Bryant, and more recently, Juju Smith-Schuster. Roethlisberger has always made his wide receivers better. Anybody know what happened to Wallace and Bryant? You didn't hear about them much anymore now that they're both out of Pittsburgh. For Brown, he's going from a perennial Pro Bowler and 2-time Super Bowl champion to one of the league's most frustrating and inconsistent quarterbacks. Carr has been hampered by injuries the last 2 years and hasn't simply regained the remarkable 2015 and 16 forms. Even if he's running the right routes and getting open, Brown might struggle to get on the same page with Carr. The latter just isn't anything close to being on the same level as Roethlisberger, and it's harder to see how AB will be able to put up similar or even better stats with a quarterback downgrade. Number 1, succeed, because the Raiders will build the offense around him. At the end of the day, Coach Gruden and offensive coordinator Greg Olsen know that they have to build this offense around Brown's game. When you trade for a superstar player like this, there are no exceptions. As we talked about earlier, the Raiders don't have any other threats on offense. Developing the rushing game would go a long way, but in the passing game, it's going to be all Derek Carr and Antonio Brown. We all know how much Brown loves to pad his stats, even though he's usually among the NFL leaders in every wide receiver category. Well, imagine how happy Brown will be when the Raiders do their best to ensure he gets around 10 catches and 100-something yards a game. The Raiders might not be a very good team in 2019 or 2020, but the point here is that Brown is set up perfectly to succeed in Oakland. He's going to be the centerpiece in the offense. And even if the Raiders lose a lot of games, Brown will at least continue to dominate and rack up the individual stats. Number 1, flop, because the Oakland offensive line is awful. Carr has struggled aplenty in the last 2 years, and we expect it to continue in 2019. For one key reason, the Oakland offensive line is horrible. No quarterback in the NFL can do much behind an O-line that allowed 52 sacks in 2018, and it's unlikely to get better in 2019. The Raiders overpaid immensely for New England Patriots offensive tackle Trent Brown, who was simply a product of the Bill Belichick Belichick system. We don't expect Brown to bring similar production in Oakland. Even if Gruden drafts some linemen this year, it's important to remember that these guys require time and patience before fully developing. The Raiders' O-line isn't going to get fixed overnight. Gruden needs a year or two before this group gets better. And because the O-line is so bad, Carr will struggle to stand upright and find Brown. That's not going to be easy for an all-pro wideout to make big plays when his quarterback has little to no throwing time. The Raiders' O-line could very well be the reason why Brown might end up flopping in Oakland. Antonio Brown, be very worried. But also, good luck. Do you think Antonio Brown will succeed or fail in Oakland? Join us in the comments section below. Make sure to follow myself and Total Pro Sports on social media. We post great content all the time. Go give us a follow, give us a click of that button, and just follow us because we really appreciate it. We post good content, so, if you like this video or learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we so appreciate it, so give it a click. If this is your first time around TPS, make sure to subscribe because we put out videos every single day. Subscribe, put on your notifications, and we're gonna give you some videos, sports videos. You're great. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo, and I'll see you next time.
My knee.